Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm bringing you another powerful African folktale filled with courage, danger, and hope. Stay tuned. The Twin Children and the Spirit of the HAMATAN. Long ago, in the time when spirits still walked between the trees and the wind carried messages from village to village, there lived two children deep inside the great forest of West Africa. Their names were Keto and Amora. They were twins. Keto was the boy. Amora was the girl. Only their clothing told them apart. They lived with their old grandmother, Mama Nelly, in a small mud hut far away from any village, beyond the red earth paths and the tall iroko trees. Their father and mother had died during the season of heavy rains. And when the rains ended, the twins and Mama Nelly left their old village because every tree, every stone, every cooking fire reminded them of sorrow. They built a new home deep inside the forest. They were poor. But they were not unhappy. Life in the forest. All through the dry season, the twins helped their grandmother survive. They gathered wild fruits. They dug for yams. They caught small fish in the stream. They collected bird eggs in the tall grass. And somehow, they lived. But when the HAMATAN winds began to blow and the air turned cold and dry, everything changed. The streams dried. The birds flew away. The trees bore no fruit. Hunger entered their hut like an unwelcome visitor. And then Mama Nelly fell ill. The grandmother's plea. For many days she could not rise from her mat. Her voice became weak. One evening she called the twins to her side.
My child, I need strong meat broth to regain my strength.
The twins felt fear squeeze their hearts. So at dawn, before the sun painted the sky orange, Keto and Amora set out to find meat. They walked along a narrow forest path where tall trees whispered secrets above them. Suddenly, they saw a small hut made of palm fronds and branches. Outside sat an old man carving something from a piece of bamboo. His beard was white like ash. His eyes sparkled like morning dew. "Good morning, little ones," he said gently. "What are you carving?" asked Amora. "I am carving flutes," he replied. "They are for Baba Krisi, the spirit of generosity. He walks this land during HAMATAN and blesses good children." The twins exchanged hopeful glances. They told him about their sick grandmother. The old man's face grew serious. "There is meat ahead," he said. "A trader sells it." Then his voice lowered. "But he is wicked. Many children who enter his house never return." Fear crept into their hearts. The old man paused. Then he handed each child a small bamboo flute. "If danger surrounds you, blow once, only once. Baba Krisi will hear and send help." The twins thanked him and continued their journey. As evening approached, they saw a large wooden house glowing with firelight. Inside hung smoked meat, dried fish, gourds, and sacks of grain. Their stomachs growled. They hesitated. Before entering, Keto blew his flute softly. Amora struggled to find hers. By the time she raised it to her lips, Keto had finished. "Don't blow," he whispered. But she blew anyway. Two soft notes floated into the HAMATAN air. They stepped inside. The trader smiled too widely. "Oh, children, come warm yourselves." He fed them roasted yam and palm wine diluted with water. When they asked for meat for their grandmother, he nodded. Yes, yes. I will give you fine meat." But this trader had a secret. He worked with a forest ogre named Goram, who loved to eat children. Once every week, Goram brought him antelope, bush pig, and goat meat. In exchange, the trader gave him children. The trader lifted the twins to choose onions from a high basket. Then suddenly, he smashed their heads together. They fell unconscious. He threw them into a large clay vat filled with salty brine. He laughed.
"Gorham would be pleased tonight."
Soon the ground shook. Goram had arrived. Huge. Hungry. Breathing like a bull. The trader showed him the twins soaking in the brine. Goram licked his lips. Let them soak until morning, he growled. They drank and celebrated beside the fire. Far away, Baba Krisi, the spirit of generosity, walked through villages leaving small blessings in calabashes and under sleeping mats. He heard the first flute note. Then the second. 2 notes meant danger was near, but not yet fatal. He finished giving his blessings. Then he traveled swiftly across the land, moving like wind over dry grass. Deep in the night, Baba Krisi arrived at the trader's house. He saw suspicion in their eyes. He asked for salted meat. The trader led him to another room. As the trader bent into a vat to fetch meat, Baba Krisi lifted him by the legs and shoved him headfirst into the brine. He sealed it shut. Then he tricked Goram into leaning into a tall clay pot. With one mighty strike of a heavy pestle, the ogre tumbled headfirst into the vat. And there he remained. The forest would trouble children no more. Baba Krisi uncovered the first vat. There were Keto and Amora. Feet up. Heads down. He pulled them out gently. With a touch of his hand and a whisper of ancient words, life returned to their bodies. They coughed. They breathed. He warmed them by the fire. Fed them. Comforted them. Then he carried them home. He left meat beside Mama Nelly's hearth. The twins prepared broth. Mama Nelly drank. Strength returned to her limbs. Color returned to her face. And from that day, the forest was safe. Baba Krisi never failed to answer the call of children who carried his flute and used it wisely. And so, children who listen. Courage and obedience walk hand in hand. Kindness is never forgotten by the spirits. And when help seems far away, blow your flute of faith only once. And trust that goodness is already on its way. Thank you for watching. If you love powerful African stories like this, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss the next tale.